ladies and gentlemen, Plini, please.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Good. I've been in Europe for the last 3 weeks or something, so
right.
time zone-wise, fine. It was jarring to come back to music life because I've been on holiday. Like, I haven't talked to anyone about a guitar for weeks.
That's fun. I feel I was 10 days in the woods and I was dropped off by my fiance to, like, literally here on Friday. I haven't seen anybody for 10 days and then...
Yeah. Oh, so we're in this together.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go easy. We're gonna go easy.
Should we just be silent for a bit? Think of the woods.
They came here for the breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Well, man, thank you so much for taking the time. It's a pleasure. It's nice to see you outside of the NAMM rush and the 10-minute, hey, here's my guitar video. Yeah. So we're going to take some time to talk about other stuff. I want to start with your sense of, your aesthetic sense in general that I truly enjoy and that I think transpires beyond just your sound, your guitar playing, but the way you present it, the way you arrange it, the way you film for it, all of that kind of plays into it. And so I'm curious to know what else but just, guitar informs that. Is there another specific art form that you draw from?
Yeah, lots. I think, so I studied architecture when I left high school and I did a whole architecture degree and made music for fun. So I was thinking I would become an architect, which failed, which is a good thing because now I'm a musician. But doing architecture school, I think, had a huge impact on me because I left high school as a relatively blank slate of a personality aside from liking Dream Theater. And then I was in a school where it's probably like this everywhere, but everyone converged on like, oh, we all wear black.
Right.
And like you would do a project and it might have just been my class, but we used to have competitions to see like who could get away with the smallest font. Because you see like a typical PowerPoint or whatever, and you have like rainbow. So we'd be like size 2.
Oh yeah, the Word document title forms and that.
Yeah. So this kind of like, I guess it's got some parallels to metal in the like going for something that's quite abstract and bleak and minimal. And I guess metal's not minimal, but I guess you know what I mean. Yeah.
I feel like minimalistic could be a way to describe. If anything, your setup, your approach to like having like a really clean aesthetic to what you do, like it's the guitar into the interface, and then the archetype stuff. Or like you've been very forward with that sort of solution. So I fully agree.
Actually, something interesting happened possibly yesterday. So I have this Mirage guitar, which is the first one I've done with like a graphic on it.
Oh yeah.
And I have been wanting to make another video with it. And I was talking to the guys that do my videos, and we're trying to think of like what room that guitar looks good in, because the all black guitar just looks good in like a concrete room or like whatever. Yeah. So that's what we're currently trying to figure out.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't have any creative input right now. I'm still in the woods, but
let's see. It's not a guitar for the woods.
A
natural one would be good.
100%. Yeah. I enjoy that it's the kind of thing that you're going to put enough thought in to make sure that this is a representation of what you enjoy seeing.
Yeah, and I think architecture school kind of made me a hater. Like, we would look at buildings and be like, that fucking sucks. Like, the detail in this ceiling is disgusting.
Okay. We say picky here. Picky.
Yeah.
A little, not snobby, but,
Yeah, so that was 100% what it was like.
Right.
And I think that's carried over into music in, like, everything needs to be really good or it's, like, cringy. Like, bad vibrato. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that sort of thing. Just, like, I guess another way of looking at it would just be being critical in a focused on detail as opposed to
No, but I mean, thank God for that. Like that, there's a lot of really good music that came out of that very picky side of you. So it's great. It's awesome. I think you're very unique when it comes to the balance between the percussive aspect to your playing and the melodic line that you managed to weave into that. Do you think that background of yours also informs a little bit of this, like the way you build a song, the way you build a riff, for example, because you do something that, we talked to Thomann earlier today, and like he's right-hand technique, and the percussive aspect of it is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And then there's, on the other end of the spectrum, someone who's just going to be very melodic lines, very, the Nick Johnston and that. Yeah. So, and you sit somewhere in the middle. How do you go about this? Do you think of that percussive thing?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. My, not earliest, but one of my earlier memories of like a light bulb sort of thing was when I thought, I want to make music that's like the riffs of Between the Buried and Me, but with Joe Satriani playing guitar.
Right.
And I don't necessarily do that, but just because I came from listening to all these amazing like lead players, but I often found the music underneath wasn't complicated enough.
I like what you do, but I also like math. So.
Yeah, it's like, what if everyone did more?
Exactly.
And then you get, like Thomann and Animals is like, oh, that's too hard though. So I'm going to
fair enough.
I'm going to give those parts to my bass player, drummer, and other guitarist, and then I'm going to play my like simple Joe Satriani melody over the top. And that's like the world of music.
Unquote, you know? Yeah. Okay, but that's great. Not every time. Let's say most time when you sit down with your guitar and you go into that place where you think of, okay, there's an idea and I'm going to make a song with that. Do you have that in mind already? Do you write for the band, or do you write for yourself and then you bring it to the band and they figure it out?
It started off writing it for myself because there wasn't a band, so I would program all the other instruments, and it was just like I guess doing that, like I want to hear a band with riffs with a lead guitarist over the top sort of thing. Like, how can I make that? And then now, because I know I have a band, or at least I hope they'll reply to my messages, I'll start writing something and then immediately think, like, I like these chords, but it's rhythmically bland, but I have a sick drummer, so I could send him this and be like, have you come across any really interesting, even if it's 4/4, but like sort of weird grooves that could work with this, and then could build it up like that. But yeah, so the more that I do stuff with them, the more I have them in mind, like, oh, this will sound sick because my bass player will be doing a certain thing underneath.
So in the end result, do you hear that difference when you hear the final song? Like, do you know that it's something that you couldn't have come up with in the older days of you writing alone? Yeah,
it ends up in a place, and which makes it way more exciting for me too, because I'll take it, I don't know exactly, but let's say I take it 50% of the way, and then I'm just like pushing a boat out into the ocean.
Right.
Like, where's it going to turn up?
Okay. Does that ever feel like a compromise, since you come from a place where you do everything on your own, and as you said, you're very picky about it?
Yeah. Yes. And I think one of the things that I'm happiest about is having gradually given up different bits of control, because I think the results are really worth it.
Right.
Like, we're almost finished making an album at the moment, and it was very funny. The songs that I had demoed longest ago and in the most detail, I would send to my drummer, Chris, and then he would record his ideas and send them back. And my first reaction is always like, what the fuck did you do to my fill? That fill was sick and you ruined it.
Goddamn drummers.
And then he would reply like, well, you're wrong, but I can do a version using that fill if you like. And then I would reply the next day being like, hey man, I'm sorry, I listened to it again. What you played is way better, and let's go with that. Right. And this happened on every single song.
Oh yeah.
And so, I just kind of realized, like, I've ended up playing with these people because I love their ideas and how they play. So the sooner that I'm just like, he's going to play it, so I'm going to let him pick it. I mean, they might be wrong sometime, but so far, it's pretty good.
Is trusting the drummer right or wrong? That took a turn. Like, I didn't think that was the conversation we're going to be having. But no, I completely understand. It is like, you do humble yourself a little bit, but that's the beauty of like those relationships. Yeah. Because ultimately you're just building something that's so special that you're willing to give away those bits of control and like humble yourself a little bit in that, oh yeah, maybe my stuff wasn't so great, this is better, we'll go with that, you know. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of really cool collaborations through Archetype and Neural DSP, but also just on your channel, Kiko and a bunch of really exceptional guitar players. Is there any specific one that stands out, and can you tell us a little bit more about how that came to be? Because the Thomann one, I ruled that one out because there's a full video explaining how you guys came about this. But, you know, Matteo Cesato or... Yeah, if you can talk a bit to that.
There actually is a full video for, I think, all of them.
Oh, really?
Just sometimes it's not on my channel or it's on Neurals or something, but there is.
I'm sorry, I made
So you have like 3 hours of homework to do tonight. But I think the one with Kiko was really interesting because that was the first one that was a song in a day. So I'd done a song with Tim Henson and Corey Wong where we wrote it basically over email and then got together to make a video.
Right.
And then did the same with Rabia. But that one, I was in Helsinki where Neural DSP are based, and I ended up extending my trip. And I think it was Dan, who's their marketing guy, was like, why don't we just put you in a studio with... Oh, because I met Kiko because he lives there.
Yeah.
And Dan was just kind of like, let's turn this into doing some work while you're here.
I'm going to stay a couple of days to enjoy the city. No, you're not.
Yeah. He's great at work, play, balance. So, yeah, we just did, they booked a studio in Helsinki. I'd met Kiko for an hour over dinner or whatever, 2 nights before.
Okay.
And I think he called me or I called him the day before to be should we try and figure out what the fuck we're doing? And then we agreed to just go totally clean slate and just see what happened. And both somewhat afraid that we would waste 10 hours of studio and video time.
Fair enough.
And then it started coming together.
Right.
And it was kind of, it was really fun.
Okay. Is that something you to yourself do again, those kind of challenges, or do you have any musicians that you have that bucket list, you want to work with?
Yes, I would love to do one with John Petrucci.
Yeah.
I'd love to do one with Misha, who just launched an archetype as well.
True.
I'm just thinking in Neural World, there's probably a lot of... Steve Vai would be fucking sick. But even the ones with Mateus and Tosin, really fun because I already know them quite well.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to hang out with my friend and oh, there's cameras here, but we're just fucking around to make music.
When you did that collaboration with Kiko, did you feel the shift? Because as you say, you've known Misha, you've known Tosin for a long time, you've toured, and you kind of you're within the same part of that bubble that we're in, and so but Kiko comes from a different part of this world that musically speaking has a different vocabulary, I feel, and maybe something a bit more classic to it. Did you feel that different? How was that to adapt to a more different guitar player?
It was quite challenging because also his knowledge of harmony and chord voicing is insane. So he would be saying things to me and I'm I understand 1% of this if you say it really slowly. And he's yeah, it's just these 16 chords. And so I'm trying not to appear like a total idiot in front of this guy that I also admire.
So me in this context right now, right here.
Yeah, and then you'll notice when you listen to the song, there's this insane chord part, and I'm I know what I can add, and then there's a one-note riff.
Yeah. But I can imagine that it takes a minute to go back into yourself, and it's okay, well, this is what I can do with this. This is what I'm bringing to the table.
Exactly.
It'll be super important.
Yeah, there was a similar moment with the Mateus one where we had written a chord intro sort of thing and then kind of got stuck, how does this become a song? And then we took a break and then I started playing drums on a keyboard and was oh, if I just write a generic riff that I would write and his chords, it kind of starts turning into something.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of doing these collaborations and things like this. And I'm sure to a lot of other people, it's completely the other way around. There's a gentleman there in the crowd that showed me a video earlier of a guy that I'm so sorry, but I forgot the name of. Dean Lamb, thank you so much. Super tech metal, shreddy, 280 BPMs, that was just fully not able to play what you play. Yeah. Because the techniques are so wildly different. Yeah. Remembering what you bring to the table, I guess, is also a bit of a light bulb moment.
Yeah, but also trying to steal from other people's tables. I don't know if that's how the metaphor would work.
It does?
Dean and Archspy, absolutely insane, and I would love to introduce 0.1% tech death into my music because that would take it into a place that it hasn't been before.
Yeah. But I understand that, and I think that's the only way forward for a lot of genres that are pushing the envelope a bit for something that, you slap the label progressive on whatever and it becomes that. But I agree. I think if you can draw that from a little bit from tech death and a little bit from that soundtrack and a little bit from this, from that, this is the way forward. This is Guitar Summit. We're going to talk about gear a little bit.
I got to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. what does your both like home setup and touring setup look like now? You say you finishing writing a new album, and there's some tours that's going to be ensuing. What do you bring on the road with you?
Yeah, the touring rig right now is a pedal board that has quad cortex on it and an expression pedal, which I might retire back to the back of the stage. So we used to have the quad cortexes in a rack off the stage. Yeah. MIDI was controlling all the preset changes. And then there were some bits with like volume swells, and sometimes I mess with like a wah pedal, that sort of thing.
All right.
And so we put them back in front of ourselves. But maybe, I don't know. But that's basically it. It's just a quad cortex that's MIDI controlled.
Do you use one for the whole band, or is it just one for you? And
one for me, one for Jake, the guitarist, and one for Simon, the bass player. And my front of house engineer, Ronnie, started using one as well and running some of the drums through like phases and delays.
Sick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And when you're at home, is it just like straight to interface, or do you mess around with some
It's just, interface plugin. I use some of the other guys' plugins.
Yeah, right.
But because I know Simon's going to mix it, and then we'll talk about other stuff. Like he has some amps that he uses and pedals for certain parts.
Okay. I was secretly hoping you were going to say, no, I have a Tube Scream and an old Marshall hidden away somewhere at home, and that's what I...
One day I will.
One day you will?
I went to Anderton's. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about... Are you enemies or are you friends?
No, we're good friends.
Okay.
It's fine. Enemies, I love... No, we have knife fights in the back of the hotel.
Oh, sick. I went to Anderton's a month ago, maybe 3 weeks, and I played the sickest amp rig, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is way better. Just for sitting in a room and playing, a totally different feel. But I have neighbors, and
there's a reason
one day
why those practical solutions are so popular.
Yeah.
You've been so consistent with your rig, with your guitar choice, with everything surrounding that sound of yours, that I'm trying to put myself in those shoes, and I would be fully unable to stick to that. Like, it's just, I love to see like the new pedal, the new amp, the new this and that. So is it just if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of situation, or are you just wired that way? Do you?
I guess wired that way. I've never really been interested in, yet I'm here, but in guitars. I had a guitar for some years, and then I finally got a slightly better one. And then 7 or 8 years later, I got my first Strandberg, which is essentially I've been playing the same guitar since then. And I'm like, why anything else?
Yeah, I can only respect it, and it is a fully foreign concept to me.
Yeah.
But yes.
We should talk to people in other industries that have equipment and see if there's the same thing. Like, is there a chef that's like, I need the new pan? Or is they just like, like I can cook everything in this, and why would I not?
Fair enough, but that's a super interesting take, I think, because we tend to be in our own bubble a little bit. We tend to stay there and talk to other guitar players that also like to try things out. And even cooking, I think it's super interesting to see it that way.
On the flip side, though, every time there's a new Neural plugin, which I get for free, I'll try it, and it's inspiring.
Okay.
So if I had access to, like, if I lived near a music store that had a lot of shit that I could go and mess with, maybe I would do it more. So it might be to do with that as well.
Right.
Because I'm interested in like new sounds, but I'm also very lazy.
That's going to be the takeaway for that. No, it's I fully understand, and I like that there is, because like exploration, even if it's just within the plugin or within your own plugin, I'm sure like. Do you still rely on presets that were done like back in the day, or do you still mess around with it a bit, like rediscovering some stuff about it?
I still mess around all the time. There aren't so many features. Like, it's pretty quick to go anywhere from scratch, which I like. But I will always try things that seem wrong, like turning the cab off and like turning the fuzz all the way up so it sounds disgusting, and then like taking it down 2 octaves or something like that. Or like
that in 4 reverbs and
exactly
where it goes.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
That's great. Okay, we're going to wrap it up soonish. Do you want to tell people what you have going on, what's coming up for you? You said you had a new record. When can we expect that? Are you going to be touring it? If so, where? Are you coming back to Germany?
Yes, so just announced a tour coming to Europe next end of April and through May with Sungazer, who are awesome. You'd probably like him.
So that's
Adam Neely's
right?
band, yeah. In Germany, we're playing Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, and Frankfurt, which is where we basically are. And a lot of other places. And that will be after the new album comes out, which I did a workshop before and explained that I think it'll be out on March the 27th.
All right.
But also I'm in control of that, so it might not be. But I think it will be.
All right. Well, we hope it will be. Thank you so much for your time, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for attending. That was Plini.
Thank you.